Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. Thanks for joining me. It's Lily, and I hope that all of you find yourselves well, especially with what's going on with the coronavirus. And if you find yourself spending a lot more time indoors to keep yourself safe and healthy, then let's make the best use of our time, right? Um, I am here to share a little project that I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to be making a junk journal from my junk. And I am jumping on board and joining a challenge that Pink Oddbird started back in February. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to join in the challenge, but I thought, oh, why not? I've got plenty of junk, as you can see here. So I will share her link below where she explains what the challenge is. This is something that she shared back in February, and I know we're mid-March and I'm just now getting started, but it's never too late to create, and I think right now is the perfect time. I want to show you in this video, and I'll keep it brief, because I mainly want to show you what I'll be working with. And Pink Oddbird talks about creating a junk journal from true junk. And I'm going to try to do just that by using junk. And this is a little bag that it's I believe it was at Michael's for, I want to say they go for about $5. Well, this is where I've been collecting my junk. And you can see here that I save packaging from Amazon Prime, and I like these because they kind of hold my junk. I plan on using this as a cover. Not sure if I'll use this as a cover for this particular journal. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do. I have a lot of ideas. So this is a contender, and I may work on several journals at the same time. I haven't decided that part either, but I just want to show you what my collection of junk looks like. And if you are a paper crafter, a paper lover like I am, what we tend to do is we tend to see the possibility in paper because we know and we can visualize the paper and what it could become, the treasure that it could become. And so this is what I've done. I've just collected. Oh, here's another. Oh, let me show you. This is a journal, a cover that I actually created with one of the large envelopes. The envelopes. You know, when I start recording, I lose my train of thought. I lose words. It's like I can't speak all of a sudden. But you know, the 9x12 envelopes. And so what I did is I took one of those and I created a soft journal cover with it and covered it inside and out with fabric. And this is what is housing a lot of the junk mail envelopes. And so you could see here, I've got just random pieces of junk envelopes. And I believe in the previous video, or one of the previous videos, I showed you how I recreate, or what I do with how I repurpose a lot of the junk envelopes. And I was greatly inspired by the Bohemian Crafter. And so anyhow, this is what houses a lot of the junk envelopes. But I also have just odds and ends, scrap pieces of paper. I save packaging. You could see here. And the smaller ones, I actually create, I make tags that go in the junk journal books. For example, oh, here's one. Here's a good example. Here is packaging, and what I'll do is collage the front, add some coffee dyed paper for journaling, and then I insert these in the junk journals as journaling cards for journaling. So anyhow, this is my collection of junk, and so I will be using a lot of what is in this bag for the new junk journal that I will be working on. Oh, here is an old book cover. This is a book that I found in the garage. I was helping my dad clean out his garage, and there were just random things in boxes. And so this was a book that was practically falling apart, and so I salvaged the cover and some of the pages, and so I'll be working on that sometime in the future. Here's some more packaging, and then just random cardstock pieces that I've just come across. And so just want to show this to you. So I'm going to set this aside and show you some of the other ideas that I have, so that maybe you will be inspired to also create a junk journal along with Pink Oddbird. So I will, so you can go over and check out her introduction video, so you can see what her inspiration is, and how we can join the challenge and tag her and all that fun stuff. So here is another idea that I would like to do. Now, in the past, I have created my own personal journals out of cereal boxes. And so here, these are cereal boxes that I will also be repurposing. I've already trimmed them down. And so I like to work with, this one is, I cut it down to 9x6. And I like to work with that size. It just makes it easier, especially when you're working with a copy paper that is 8.5x11. It's just easier to fold it in half and pop it in there. So sometimes it'll be, I just dropped a bunch of stuff. I'm working on a very small desk. Okay, so there are 2 of them here. So like I said, I may be working on multiple journals at the same time. And so here are 2 of them that I have. This one here will have a spine that is about 2.5 inches wide. And then this other one actually has a much wider spine, about 3 inches. But that's okay. I like them, you know, if they're chunky, that's okay. Now, what I'll probably do is cover these with fabric, but the fabric I'm using is somewhat sheer. And so I'm going to take packaging. This is just packaging, and I'm going to glue it on this side of the cover just so that it doesn't show through the fabric. And I've got some fabric scraps here. Now, I know Pink Oddbird said, you know, she'd love for us to be able to use true junk. Everyone's junk is a little bit different, or what we consider junk. These are fabric scraps that I've received either as a gift from my sister, just random scraps that she's come across either at yard sales or at thrift shops. So, you know, they're just, you know, odds, they're just pieces, you know, and so to me, these are, I consider this kind of junk. You know, we're actually repurposing things that someone else didn't need anymore, or things that were probably would end up in the trash bin. So again, my junk may be different from your junk. So just use what you have. What we're trying to do is repurpose things that we have, recycle. And I'm also going to be using some things that I have in my stash that I haven't used in a long time. So again, your junk is different from my junk, and I will try to stick to a true junk journal for this endeavor, for this project. So I will set these aside. Oh, but I wanted to show you. So this fabric here is a little bit sheer, and the cover of the cereal box does show through. If it was my personal, well, for my personal junk journals, I really don't mind, because sometimes I end up layering the cover anyway, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. So I'm just going to cover it with the packaging just so it doesn't show through. And then the inside cover I'm going to use for one of the books. I'll probably use this, and then use this one here for the other. If I decide to go this route and not use the other covers that I've also, like the Amazon Prime envelopes. I haven't decided yet. These are just a lot of the ideas that I could probably use. So I'm just kind of setting things aside. I also have coffee dyed copy paper and coffee dyed junk paper. So I've come across a lot of paper from my parents' basement, and also items that they've had in the garage. And so I've just been coffee dyeing and tea dyeing, avocado dyeing. So I'll be using a lot of those papers for the inserts. I'm also going to use old book pages and what else? Just, I've come across so many different things. Printer paper, dot matrix paper, ledger paper, old school papers, you know, just random. So I'll be putting signatures together with that. And I wish I could do a process video and show you guys, you know, the process, you know, the covering. Don't know if I'll be able to do that. But if I can, I'll definitely record that process. And I also want to show you, once I get done with the signatures and the covers, I'll be including a lot of the little ephemera that I have been working on. And I kind of shared some of this in one of the previous videos where I talked about the Bohemian Crafter. And repurposing is something I've always liked and enjoyed doing. And so I'll be using a lot of this ephemera that was literally created from junk. You could see packaging paper here. And these are some of the tags that I've used, that I've made using packaging as well. You know, old book pages, decoupaged napkins. These are napkins, and old memory, excuse me, not memory, Rolodex cards that I picked up at the thrift store, and, you know, packaging like this. And this is a printout my sister gave me. So just little random things that I've just kind of found and used. So I'll be using a lot of this DIY junk ephemera in the book as well. So, and then I have other items here that I have. So things that I've coffee dyed. I think these are, oh yeah, sales orders that I've coffee dyed. So a lot of little treasures, a lot of little junk. Just, what else do I have? Oh, this is a box. This is fun. This is actually a little box I picked up at the thrift store, and in it were just random things. You know, these divider cards, and I think there were also vintage recipe cards in here, but I've also used it to store some of the altered index cards that I've created from index cards that I picked up at the thrift store. And so I coffee dyed them. Don't they look great? And then I stamped them. And these are stamps. One of this special handling stamp I actually bought at an antique store, and I love this stamp. So I've been using this one. And so I've created a bunch of them here just from the index cards that I purchased at the thrift store, and put those away in there. So I'll be using a lot of that as well. You know, just random things. These are the index cards. These are others. They're not stamped or altered or decorated, just coffee stained. And so I'll be using some of that as well. And then just little odds and ends. Here's old recipe cards that I found at the thrift store. So for me, this is, you know, these are found items, junk items. And this is, I'm just housing those items right here. Just things that just random things that I find at, you know, garage and thrift stores. And, you know, here's a sticker. I don't remember where this came from. Oh, from produce. So I'm telling you guys, I am a junk collector. So there we go. I hope you guys join us. I say us because I'm now part of the challenge. So I will be challenging myself to try to stick to as much junk as I possibly can, and avoid using any store-bought items, which I don't have much here anyway, since I'm still at my parents', so working on limited supplies. So most of it is really junk. So I'm excited to work on this project, and also check out what all of the other participants are working on. So I hope you guys decide to to join in on this challenge. I can't wait to see what everyone else is doing, and we'll take it from there. So again, I will share the information down below so that you guys can check out Pink Oddbird and her creations as well, and where she talks about the challenge. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you. And next video, I will probably share how what covers I've decided to use, and what that looks like as well. So you guys be well, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.